Back in 2018, Hagerty asked the question whether or not the Dutch Demon is an instant collectible. They had just launched and many were selling over MSRP. And as they pointed out, a significant number of cars were grabbed up by investors and many of them flipped the Demon for a solid profit. Even owners who enjoyed the car for a bit and tried to sell it afterwards could count on a minimum depreciation. Fast forwarding to 2021, the car market changed significantly. Used car prices went through the roof and some other challenger trims like the Red Eye and the SRT Superstock were launched. Let's find out how the Demon values fared in these turbulent times and if it is indeed a collectible. We start with a market overview and then we will have a look at the value development over time. Over here we have the US market with the model year on the horizontal axis and the price on the vertical axis. The Demon was only produced as a 2018 car, so we only have one model year. Now the market itself is extremely small as production was limited. There are currently only 37 cars for sale and the median price is $140,000. And this is a median asking price. Later in the video we will have a look at some auction results. Now if we look at the prices, then you can see that prices start at around $110,000 and go up to $190,000. So all cars are priced above their initial MSRP. But then again, it's unlikely that many cars were actually sold for their MSRP price back in 2018. Now what is interesting about this market is its mileage distribution. If we pull up the market characteristics graph where we have the price, the mileage and the year distribution, we can see that most of the cars have between 0 and 2000 miles. The median mileage for this market is then also only 1200 miles, and that is an extremely low number for a market which is around 3 years old. Also, this means that most cars only did 400 miles per year, and this already highlights the uniqueness of this market and that we are indeed looking at a collectible car market. Even cars like a GT3 RS or a Ferrari 488 get driven more than these demons. So how did all of this change over time? Let's have a look at the median price development. But before we do that, if you like this video, please support the channel by clicking on the like button down below. Thank you. We can see the price development between October 2020 and October 2021. And in this period, prices increased from $128,500 to $139,900. And this equals an increase of $11,400 or 9%. Moreover, this price increase is statistically confirmed, which means that it is unlikely to be the result of chance. Yet, we can see that the majority of this increase happened between October of last year and May of this year. Prices remained stable after that. The shape of the price trend, what you can see over here, is then also in line with what we can see in the used car market. Prices increased most severe in the first half of 2021 and are now starting to settle down. Now I also looked a little bit deeper into the data and this revealed that during last year the market hardly changed. Supply decreased a bit from 41 to 37 cars and the median mileage remained more or less identical. Now when you break the data down to a more granular level, you can always ask yourself the question if there is a market segment which saw a more severe price increase than others. And since mileage is a key price driver for the Demon, it makes sense to look at the price change from a mileage perspective. So let's have a look at that. Over here we have now the mileage to price relationship for October 2020 and October 2021. Each dot represents a car for sale and the solid lines display the relationship between the mileage and the price. Now first of all we can see that the orange line lays above the blue line, but this makes sense. We just saw that prices increased with 9%. However, this graph reveals a bit more than that. It wonderfully shows how the prices increased. We can see that it is mainly the market bottom which increased. 1 year ago you could find a lot of cars for sale between 1000 and 5000 miles which were priced below $120,000. Now they are advertised for at least $125,000. And this contrasts to the development at the market top. The most expensive Demon has now an asking price of $190,000 while it was $200,000 1 year ago. Now maybe I am nerding out too much about this, but I think that it is a pretty cool thing to see. Another cool thing is the consistency in the price increase. Have a look at the following graph. Over here we have the price, model year and supply development for the 4 mileage buckets. So this means that the blue line shows the development for the cars with a mileage between 0 and 138 miles. Now if we look at the price changes, then we can see that this 1 year price change is almost identical for all mileage buckets. Hence, this means that prices shifted in the complete market. All the mileage buckets saw a price increase, so the price increase is carried across the market. Now so far we only looked at the advertised prices, but usually the price increase in those prices give a pretty good indication of the price increase in the actual selling prices. However, especially the prices at the top end of the market can be a bit misleading. If you read through the various demon forums, you will see that many of these high-priced cars are already for sale for a long time. In other words, cars are not selling for those prices. I'm working on a method to track the cars over time so we can actually see how long it takes before a car is sold, and this in turn would give a more reliable estimate of the selling price. However, since that's not yet ready, let's have a look at the auction data from Bring a Trailer. Over here we have now the date on the horizontal axis and the price on the vertical axis. And we can see that the first demon was already auctioned in the beginning of 2019, so it's likely that this car was flipped. Now if we look a bit further to the right, then we can see that the demons tend to go for a price between $110,000 and $160,000. However, this one over here featured a carbon body kit and this one still had the plastic inside. So perhaps these two prices at the top are a bit exaggerated. Now if we take the median price of the cars which were auctioned during the second half of 2021, we end up with a price of $125,500, and this is 10% lower than the median advertised price in today's market. And this price difference of 10% is in line with what you typically see in car markets. And with that, let's wrap up and conclude. The demon market indeed looks more like a collectible market than a normal car market. We saw first of all that the cars which are for sale have an extremely low mileage and that the mileage increase over the last year was negligible. And this of course means that many cars are tucked away or hardly driven. Second, we saw that prices are still very high compared to MSRP and that this also goes for the few cars which have some mileage on it. Third, and this is something we didn't discuss yet, the price development doesn't seem to be affected too much by the market trend. Yes, we saw this 8% increase year over year, but this is only little compared to some other cars. Hurricanes for example saw a price increase of 17% and 911s even saw a larger price increase. Moreover, the last 5 months revealed that the demon market remained stable, while the used car market still saw some price fluctuations. But in my mind this makes sense. The demon is a very unique car which only appeals to a relatively small group of people. Once the initial price fluctuations caused by the flippers are settled, this usually results in a stable price development. Think for example about the Lotus Elise or Exige. Now if you like this data-driven approach to analyzing car markets, but would have liked to see it for a different car, just comment the name of the car down below in the comment section. Once there are enough requests for a certain car, I will make a video about it. Also don't forget then to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you get actually notified when your requested analysis goes live. As always, a big thank you for watching and I hope to see you next week for a new video.